Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me again today. We are working on my run through of Tina's mask makes, so we are on day 66. I can't believe I've made it this far and not missed a day. To be perfect, I keep saying that I'm gonna jinx myself, but yeah, if you can't tell by all of these, we're making decorative page edges. Okay, so, you got that one plain page and you don't really want to put another pocket on it, or you don't want to put another tuck on it, and it's perfect for journaling space or whatever, but you want it to have a little bit of pizzazz. So these are good for just running something down the edge of your page real quick and giving it a little bit of decoration and then leaving the rest of it blank for journaling or, whatever. And basically you're just using, strips. We have cutoff strips, right? Everybody's got them. And you would combine them with, say, music or book page or, like that, and create a really pretty decorative piece to just quick grab and glue. Same idea as clusters, except these are really long and you put them on a page. Sorry if you can hear my jet engine in the background. That's my washing machine. And it's the weekend and people are, laundrying. So basically all we're going to do is, like, you take a piece like this. I think this would look good with music. And maybe you put it on there like that. Okay. Now, obviously that's too long for most of the books I make. Well, maybe not obviously. And you might not want it that wide. Maybe you scoot it over a little bit, or maybe I tear some of this off. So what if I tear this strip thinner? And then I put this on here, over here by the lace. Like that. And I look at it and I say, okay, I can probably tear off some of the, well, let's glue it down first. What do I want to do this with? I think I'm going to do it with glue stick, only because once glue stick dries, I don't mind running it through my sewing machine. And I think these benefit from stitches. They do not have to have stitches. And as a matter of fact, we'll do some without stitches, and I'll give you an alternative for adding, stitches to your, if you don't have a sewing machine. That was one of the things that Tina made clear, is that she was trying to make them accessible to everybody. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you can still make these. I glued that upside down from what I was facing, but this is not exactly directional, so it's okay. And then what you do, like if I don't want that, then maybe I tear off this part here, right along the music. Kind of thin it out a little bit. And I have a page strip. And then you would just stick this on the edge of a page like that. Even in its basic form, it's really pretty and you can decorate it up, right? So we have that strip. We'll lay them off to the side over there and move on to the next combination. Let's see what we can figure out. Now I've got a long, probably won't use that. I'll just sit it off to the side. Maybe. I'm not totally ruling it out, but I wonder. I wonder if this would go okay together. How tall is this piece? And your edge strips don't have to be, so like most of the edge strips are probably going to need to be about 9 inches-ish. So this piece here is about 8.5 inches. Came from an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So everything doesn't have to doesn't have to line up, is what I was trying to say. I know I'm just staring at that, not saying anything. So if I tore the end off of this, hey, the washing machine's done. And I tore the end off of this, oops. And then we tear the end off of this. This one I'm actually going to bring down to size because I'm using smaller pieces and I'm layering. So I'm just going to put it on my numbers and I'm going to tear it right around here. Okay. And then if I was to put this piece on it, which I really like. Okay, so let's put the music down first. And I suppose these could be as many... Oh, set that off to the side. I'll use it for... I gotta start paying attention, guys. For this, it's like either side, either or. But I want to glue this side because of where the straight edge is. I will say this. Once you add music, I feel like you create a directional surface. So... unless your music has no words, in which case your music notes can be upside down, right side up, and still add decoration. But if your music has, like some of my music has words in it. So it's got to go on so that the words are right side up. Makes sense, right? Okay. And then we'll put this on there. Oh. Hey, look, guys, I'm at the end of my glue stick. Well, I got glue on my hands now. I might as well. Okay, I'm going to put this one in the trash. And I'll get out a new one after I put this down. Okay, so I'll let a little bit of the blue peek out on that side, and there we have another one. See, and I wouldn't necessarily need to stitch that one because it's got something extra. All right, let's see what else we can do. I really like this. I don't know what I would pair it with, but I really like it. Maybe I could pair it with some more of this blue stuff because I have some more. I love these circles, but this strip is so thin that I don't know if I'm going to be able to salvage them. Because it's going to have to be... And I'm working on top of my strips. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can... Ooh, those were sitting together. That's kind of nice. Lay that off to the side before I bury it. Okay, now, try this again. All right, so if I put this here like this, just a little bit of an overlap, and then I use something down the middle. Oops. Oh, I want to go this way. I kind of like that. And this is non-direct. Well, it's got that coral there, but I mean, for the most part, it's non-directional, so you could... Well, let's give this a shot. All right, this one is going to go down with regular... Oh, no. I did not put this away with no pin in it. Well, let's see if it's going to cooperate with me or if I'm going to have to... Oh, no, look at that. It's behaving. All right, so like that. I don't know if I could get it. Okay, and then I need another glue stick. All right, ordered a pack of 4 of these, I think, from Amazon, and I had a couple left. I try not to wait till I'm totally out of something to order it, so I have a couple down there. Okay, and then we just put this down here. I look at these as being almost like little like cluster starters. So that's kind of a... Now if I wanted to tear that down to size, I would tear here like that. And I would tear... Ooh, this one actually gets torn right on the edge of here because this strip wasn't 9 inches long. So this one is 8 3/4, but still really cute. So not complaining. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way. Okay, this was the one I set aside because I thought these, I mean, it's crazy and wacky and normally I would never, but I mean, come on, how cute is that? Now, normally what I would try to do is find something semi-solid to break this up. So, like, I mean, even something like this. So if I tear, say I want a torn strip of this off of here. I probably should have torn it wider just because that's going to be... I'm going to end up tearing that really narrow. And it doesn't have to go over, it can go under. Just to separate the two. I'm going to tear that off. Oops. I'm going to tear that off. Alright, and we're going to put it right about there. And like that. And so it breaks up the patterns. Just because this is solid and it's not... It breaks up the crazy, if that makes sense, to have something in there. Now, you might say, well, that has a pattern on it, and I can tell. So you could also use something totally solid to put in there if you wanted to. This is a piece of really old aged book page that I happen to have here. Let's tear this. We can see how this looks instead. So it's got the, I don't even know why I tore that, because it's going to be underneath, so it's not it's not going to be visible. I don't know why I bothered. But anyway. Okay, so, or you could do something like that. If you didn't want to use this, you could do something like that. Okay, guys, camera test back. I just had to take out about 5 minutes of footage where I made this little guy. And basically the idea, you saw me start it, and then I came back after I got rid of the glue and finished it in a video, in a section of the video, and I had to cut that out because the lagging I was seeing on my camera on the video was how it was recording. So I couldn't keep it. Well, I mean, I have the footage. If you're really, really desperate to watch how I did this strip, which, I mean, we're going to go on. Why can't I find it? I hate not being able to find anything, guys. Drive me crazy. Okay. I mean, I feel like we're going to go on and I'll be showing you more of these, so it's not that big of a deal. But basically what I did was I kept the portion of the scrapbook paper that had some color that tied into the camera paper in the background. And now you can't even tell those are cameras. But I think that turned out really cute. I kind of like them in 3 layers. I also like this one we did with the uneven, so let's kind of move forward and see what else we get. Also, when I tore that one down, I tore off enough of one end that this is kind of the starter of a cluster. So I figured I'd keep this. So when you're making these, if you end up tearing off an end that's big enough to use as a cluster piece, you know, hold on to it. Okay. Now, let's go further into my pile here and see. Oh, here's some green, and here's something with green. What do we think? Maybe? I'm thinking maybe like this. Yes? No? And if I do like that, I need, what if I put some of this on there? That's not bad. That's kind of fun. Piece of that on there. See, mine are turning into like mini clusters. Tina didn't do all this. I think hers were like 2 layers and then, you know, anything that you wanted to decorate with, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going way overboard, but I'm kind of having fun with it. So isn't that the point? I don't know how tall. This is only 6 inches tall, the main piece. So what I'm thinking is, you know what? I might keep those top pieces straight. I'm going to tear these. I might actually make this one so that the center is longer than this piece. Okay, let's make sure this is no longer than 9 inches. It's a little over 9 inches. So I trim a little bit off of one of these ends. So I've got one torn end and one not torn end. Okay, and then we're going to put this on here like this so that it sticks off top and bottom. And then we're going to put this on here. And this one, the narrow piece in the middle, is what gives me my height on the edge of my page. Does that make sense? I feel like, I mean, it's not rocket science. I'm actually having fun with these. Anything I can get out of my scrap box, to be honest. Oh, maybe we should just do... I am going to try and stitch some of these. So anything that's not exactly glued down, I feel like it's not going to like come up off the page. Also, of course, you could ink edges if you wanted them to show up better. Like that's a torn edge, and because it tore actually really relatively straight, you can almost hardly tell. So if you wanted to ink your edges, you could do that. Let's try, since we got all this green in here. Okay, so my kids are outside shoveling snow. Yes. It's snowing pretty good out there right now. We've probably gotten a couple of inches, and they're outside making a start so that, you know, as time goes on, they're not shoveling, you know, massive amounts of snow all at once. Also, I'm waiting. They're definitely going to have to shovel when our plow, the people who run our plows, that plow our streets. I remember when I was a kid. Okay, you guys who live in northern climes can kind of, at least here, can kind of see if you remember this. But when I was a kid, I remember them. I mean, I've always lived relatively northern. I'm not a stranger to snow. So when I was a kid, they used to plow our streets. They never left snow at the bottom of our driveway, like a mound of snow along the bottom of your driveway. They never did that. Okay. And there was always like they had adjusted the plow to kind of pull in and, you know, moved it or whatever, because the plows are adjustable as they go. There's that one. I really like the way that turned out. Okay. And so there was no problem, never any problems with that. And then there would be a big mountain of snow at the end of the street or whatever. Well, they don't really do that anymore. They just plow down the street and bury your driveway. The end of your driveway gets buried, and it's your responsibility to dig yourself out. Which, not for nothing, I pay the taxes for the plow. The least you could do is not bury me in. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just selfish, but I kind of feel like it's not their job to bury us in. I don't know. Okay, I like that. Let's tear this edge off so that we're not dealing with a straight edge on either side, because I'm not going to cover it. Like I said, I don't know. It's just, I don't it irks me a bit that they do it. So I'm ranting. Sorry. Okay, now I'm going to glue it on, and then we'll tear it down. For some reason, the end of this glue stick is like, it's coming apart. It's not going on smooth. It's coming off in chunks instead of the way glue stick normally comes off. So it's got a real rough surface. It's weird. As far as glue sticks, as you can see, I'm off my glue page, so I'm trying to be careful up at that end. Okay, it's probably time to change glue pages. All right, so we're going to put this on here. And I might actually make it catty corner slightly. Got some glue on it because my glue page is yucky. Okay, and then I'm going to tear this end off just right at the end. And then we're going to see what it would take to make this 9 inches. All right, we're going to be able to tear a decent chunk off at this end. So basically, what I'm thinking is I'll tear it right here. Ooh, let's go this way. I'll tear it right here. All right, and then I've got this piece I can keep. And I'll tear this edge a little bit. Like that. And I've got this piece I can keep, and then I can put something on there. So, we're making strips and cluster bases. Look at us go. All right, so I'm going to put that one over there. I'm going to get rid of this sheet. Again, I'll save it for when we have to glue small things. Okay, what else I got in here? Oh, I've got these quilt strips. Let's see. So anyway, so yeah, they're shoveling snow. I think they've come in. I think I heard them coming in upstairs, so they may be done. In which case I might have to pause you for a few minutes. Let me put my scissors. I think I might cut this. Sorry, I know I went quiet. I'm concentrating. You guys know me and concentrating. It's tough for me to do both. That's probably a little longer. I liked the idea that we did where we had a short piece in the back and then long pieces on the sides. Ooh, what about this? Does this work with this? Is that too weird? No. What about the other side? This is double-sided. I could put this on here. What if I put... No, I want to cover this edge because it's straight. This would be a wide. I don't like that. It doesn't jump out at me and say, hey, yeah, do this. Anybody else go for that whole... Ooh. It covers up a lot of that, but I can tear... Let's see. I need to tear it on one side. So what if I tore it on this side to make it a little thinner? And then we tear this end to make it a little tattier. And we put it on here like this. I wish some of that blue could show, but I kind of want it to be within the gingham. I don't want these to get too wide. But there's that blue patch right there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that if I do this. But there's a little bit of blue at this end, a little bit over here, and a little bit up here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this glued down. The only reason I switch is because this is cardstock, so I don't necessarily trust glue stick on cards unless it's, I mean, I guess you could say, well, when I say this, you're going to go, well, why don't you put the glue stick on the gingham then? I would put glue stick on book page and stick it to cardstock. I don't know why that's different in my head than sticking cardstock to paper. But sticking paper to cardstock, it's okay. I don't know. Don't ask me. Guys, my head's busted. I don't know what's the matter with it. It's broken. Okay. Put that on there like that. I did get a rag, so let's clean. I did go over a little bit, so let's clean that so it doesn't stick to my mat when I'm trying to do stuff. I can't even tell you how long this video has gotten because of all of the stuff I've done, but I think we're at about, I think I know where we are. So, again, I think that I could just sit and make a pile of these out of all the strips I have. These are really cool. I feel like I'm having an easier time with this than I do with, like, the smaller clusters. Does that make sense to anybody? Because it doesn't make sense to me. All right, so I'm going to stick that on there, and then I'm thinking about tearing this back edge. I might let it dry first, and then I'm going to tear this off. All right, what do we got so far? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's make a couple more. And then I want to try and decorate one, so this music paper is this is scrapbook paper. I like these spring green ones that I keep making. Oh, and I've got these. I forgot about those. That's kind of nice. Then I could put now this music is going to be running up sideways. I don't know if I have any more. Well, I have some over here. I shouldn't say that. I have some over here I can tear. This all has words, though, so there's that. Let me tear down. Piece like that. We want this to be narrow, so I'm going to tear off a strip, a thin strip. Kind of. I can only guide so much when I'm using the whole page to do the tearing. But I'll just pull it more to the wider paper side. As you can see, I'm trying to cover up the straight edges. Okay, so let's put that on there. Oh, wait. Let's glue these together. How about that? So how is everybody doing? I got one kind person who has told me that they are following my series and watching every day and that they're enjoying it, and I want to thank you very much. I don't know your name. I recognize your username when you come up, but I don't know your name, so yeah, I really appreciate the comments and the fact that you're enjoying this and that you're, watching every day. Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying doing this. I'm liking the idea of going through these and sharing like some of them I just go through and do exactly the same thing Tina did. So you're basically watching me do what Tina did. But in some cases, I feel like I'm coming up with something new and different to add to the mix. My own take on something or a change that I make. Like a few days back, we did a pocket that Tina recommended, and not without cause, that you do it with a lighter weight paper. Don't do it with a cardstock or even a lightweight cardstock. It was creating a lot of bulk in the piece. So as I was going through it, I was removing the bulk where I could, so that people who wanted to use like their Tim Holtz lightweight card and stuff like that to make these still could make these, because they're really cute and they're really versatile. So I wanted to make sure that I shared the idea. You know, and then there's some where I'm just bad at it, so I cut the video short. Or like the file folder one where I said more than likely if I made these, I would just glue tabs on, because I am her where she freehand cut tabs on her file folders, they actually looked like tabs on file folders. Mine, not so much. So all you people who are talented enough to do that, I think that's awesome. I, on the other hand, am not. So I'm going to save this. And I'm going to put this here, and we're going to see 9 inches will give us another one. So we can tear, oh, no, I'll tear this way. And there's no music on this little background, but that little piece of music paper is, you know, like it breaks it up a little bit. So, and I've got, swap out this page. Okay. All right. And then we have that one, which would have to go this way just because I used music sheet with words on it. Okay. What else? Now I have this wacky crazy paper, and I'm wondering if it could benefit from being toned down, from being like just peeking out of something like that. I actually don't mind that. I might glue those together just because I'd love to be able to use the wacky paper and not, you know, throw it away, since I think I've used it on some other stuff. So we might use it here, just peeking out there. And then I could decorate this one up, you know, with stitches, and then come on, glue, you can do it. I believe in you. So is anybody else feeling the polar vortex and the crazy snow and all that? All right. So I'm going to leave that one to 2 strips, and then that one will get decorated further down the road. Okay. I'm wondering if I could find one. I like that. Oh, I don't like that. Ooh, kind of like that. Okay, let's do it again. I derailed my own train of thought again. Just for decorating purposes, I'm wondering if I can find one that... Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Okay, so for people who don't have sewing machines, that's what we were going to do. I was going to decorate one that I might want to put stitches in, but I don't have a sewing machine. So instead of stitches, maybe you find like some narrow trim pieces. So we'll get out some narrow trim pieces and see if we can find one that we put a narrow trim piece up instead of taking it to the sewing machine, and see how that looks. Okay. All right. I'm going to clean this lovely mess up. Give me a minute to clean up and we'll be back to decorate one. Okay, so here's our pieces that we made, and we're going to look for, I think I'm going to pull this blue one because I have an idea for, where did I stick that bag of, here, I have an idea. Ooh, does that sit on my hot glue gun because I'm a genius? I love it when I sit things on my hot glue gun while it's on. Okay, so basically, let's pull this one up and we'll move these off to the side. All the strips we made. And basically what we would do is you find a really cool trim like this that you would want to put up. And you just run this up like you would stitches. Okay? So you would put that on there like that instead of putting it in your sewing machine. And you still get the, what do you call it? You still get the effect of having something like embroidered or whatever on your piece, but you don't have to worry about having a sewing machine. So you can get trim pieces cheap at thrift stores and stuff like that. You can get trim and you just take the trim and use it like stitches. So we're going to cut a piece of this off and I'm going to stick this back in the little thing that's on here. It's one of those thread winder things that I've got trim wrapped around. Bobbin, that's what it says. I'll get it in a minute. Just, you know, you guys have to be patient with me. All right. So I was going to say I'd put it on the edge of this music, but when I do that, it accentuates how crooked that music went down. So I'm thinking about putting it this over here. And then when I decorate it, it'll hopefully hide the fact that the music is crooked. Maybe, kind of. I don't know. That's probably a dream on my part, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to glue. We're going to put a little bit of glue down. I hate it when it like puts like a huge ball. I want to get this started. Then once it's stuck down, it'll be easier to glue and set, glue and set. Okay. I do it a little at a time because I work, well, first of all, I work in the basement. But either way, your hot glue gun, you put the hot glue down, it tends to start cooling right away because it's not in the heated gun anymore. So I try to, I do a little at a time so that it's not to mention that if I work in small sections, I can usually do it straighter. That's funny. I can't believe I said that. It's actually very hysterical. Okay. We'll go all the way up. Just put this in the... Especially when you got these trims that want to twist, which I think that one just did right there. But... Okay. And see, there you get the effect. Well, I mean, obviously it doesn't look like any stitch that your sewing machine is going to put out. But you get the effect of being able to run something up the edge of your piece like stitches without having to have a sewing machine. Okay. And there we have that. And then you would decorate over it, around it, through it, whatever. I'll save this little piece. I have all these little pieces from the stuff we've been doing, like tassels and stuff we've been doing lately. I have all these little pieces because I use the little pieces when I'm decorating. So, you can decorate this with all kinds of stuff. Like I have these old pictures of actresses. I mean, how much fun is she? She needs to be bigger. She needs to be in a frame. That's what she needs. You know what you could do to make a frame? I punched her out of a book with my punch. So if you just punched a hole in something that was a similar or just slightly smaller size, you could use it as a frame around these. I don't think I have a smaller oval than this. I think I have a bigger one, but this is the oval I used. So it would have to be a piece of something. Let's bring all our strips back. See if we can find something that we might want to, I don't know. I've kind of gotten... Ooh, maybe a piece of this. Oh, you know what? I could use one of these thicker book pages that I have. That's not book pages. Really? I have thick book pages up here that I don't mind sacrificing for the cause. Okay, so we're going to put this one here. And then we're going to punch an oval in it. and there it will punch. See? That's all you had to do. And then what I'm thinking is I'll tear the frame out. See, it fits exactly around. It does not, but that's okay, because what I'm thinking is I could go like this, and then I could decorate down at the bottom of the frame. What I needed was to not put that on there yet, though. Might have to save this for a different one. I really like this idea, though. So there's an idea. I'm not going to be able to do it on this because I put the trim down too soon. Let me get all these out of here so I know. I might be able to do it on another one that we saved. So now that I've got it in my head, I'm running with it, and I want to know where I want to put it. Okay, maybe either this one or this one. First of all, this one needs to be torn down to, it's 9 inches. So let's tear off like that. And then, ooh. This one might have to be 8.5 inches, guys. I tore too much at the other end, trying to get a cluster. So this one's a little shorter. That's okay, though. Okay, it goes this way. So what if we put her on here, and then we did this. And I brought it down, and that way I could do something to decorate the bottom of the frame. I'm liking this idea. Okay, to keep it from moving on me while I'm doing this, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue her down, because I don't need her to be, I don't need her inked either. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to brown it up. This is a very gray aged piece of paper. So I'm going to add a little sepia looking tones to it. And then we're going to put this down. I don't know if we'll end up with any kind of a pink stitched, like pink stitching. I don't know. Okay, and I think I'm going to put it right about there. And I think I will ink this, and we're going to have fun with it. Let's do... So I gave you the trim idea on that one, and we're going to decorate this one, and then I'm going to let you go. Well, I'm going to decorate it as much as I can think of things to decorate it. I'm going to kind of see if this, no, that wouldn't work. Do it like that. Just to make it easier to get to. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put glue. You may not come along for the ride. You're the wrong color for this particular piece. All right, so we're going to go glue all the way around our little frame here. All right, and like I said, I'm going to glue it kind of closer to the top than the bottom. And there, that's going to create a gap on my bottom. I have to be careful of my sides, though. Okay, so it's going to create a gap at the bottom, but we want to decorate the frame. Oof. Oh, I kind of like it narrow like that. Can I... That got thin, didn't it? All right. Anyway, what was I going to... decorate this with? Let me see. Okay, so we've got these little flowers that we can put on here maybe. Not, that would be up here. I don't know if I should put a little piece of, that's not the flat one. This one's already cut flat. Okay. So we're going to go right along the top of the frame with this. And we're going to stick this on there. Actually, I'm going to use hot glue for this. Right around there. Might be a little high, but we should be able to make it work. So many glue strings on here. Okay, so that's that. We haven't done the, I don't know, it's a page edge, so I'm not sure if I want to cut that off or not. This little piece of lace that's overhanging, I might just leave it. Now the question is, is this what I want to try and cover the bottom of this with? Maybe part of it. So what if I just come down just like that? I'm going to trim a little bit of this off so it's not like right over in her face. And then I'm going to trim this. I think I want to come over a little further. Not much, just a little. Okay, and then we're going to cut this off. Okay. And then I had one other thing that I wanted to get and try and put on here. So give me just a second, guys. Okay, I thought I had a pink version of this, but it's lavender, so I'm thinking we're going to put that on there. So just off to the one side like that. And that covers up most of our gap in our frame. Oh guys, that turned out really cute. And see, that doesn't even need stitches because it's got all the other stuff on it. But I mean, if you wanted to, you could run some stitches at the top and bottom. I obviously wouldn't go all the way up and go right through her face. But the only other thing I might add to this is pearls. But I'm not sure where I would put them, so I don't know that I'm going to get them out. I would have to think on it. But that's the idea, and then you would take this and put it on the edge of, so if I have my pages like this, I could put it on the edge of this page and check that out. I mean, there you go, page done, right? You just stick it on there. And even if you have to come just about all the way over, you know, and on the other side, if you don't like, for me, the thing is always, well, this is double-sided paper. So that's what would peek through if I put this page edge on here and I'm looking at the other side. And then what I would probably do is put a piece of lace or something along this side and kind of attach it so that on this side you get a pretty edge and on the other side you get a pretty edge. Okay. So there we have it. So that's my decorated one. This was my idea. Find some cool trims that you have and use them instead of stitches if you don't have access to a sewing machine or you're abysmal at sewing straight lines, because trust me, that's me. you can try doing this instead, and you still get a similar effect. Something, you know, some sort of fiber up the side of your page edge that adds a little bit of extra interest. And yeah, so I hope you liked my version of page edges, and I will see you guys tomorrow with day 67. Bye-bye.